Hey, this is Pizza Dude Man Guy, and I have a new 4 Smash coming out in just a couple of days. Hopefully, character number 9 will be coming on Sunday. But before then, I wanted to go ahead and acknowledge that the hero and Banjo-Kazooie have been revealed for Super Smash Brothers, and I want to give just my personal feelings on that, and I have a couple other updates as well. So, um, when Smash Ultimate was first shown off with Ridley, I listed King K. Rool and Simon Belmont as my top 2 most wanted newcomers. And then after we saw all the newcomers and got all the lists of spirits and everything, I put down Banjo Kazooie and Erdrick as my 2 most wanted DLC characters. So I don't know what you want to call it, if it's luck or if it's whatever, but I am just so incredibly happy. Just the characters that they've been adding to Super Smash Brothers have just made me so excited and satisfied and happy, and that's been great. With the hero in Dragon Quest, those of you who've been watching me for years and years, you'll know that I never really had the Dragon Quest hero on any of my old ideal rosters. Mostly those had Geno on it. And that was an idea I started talking about until 2011, 2012, right before I started taking my big hiatus. But when I got back into it and made an ideal Smash Ultimate roster in 2015, 16, I included the Dragon Quest hero on it, and specifically it was 8, because I felt like that was the most internationally recognized one, and I thought you could do alts for him that made him resemble other Dragon Quest heroes. And ultimately, I wound up changing that idea to being the original Dragon Quest hero with the iconic armor, because I was like, oh, if you do that, then you have something a bit more general that you can apply to any Dragon Quest hero more easily. And the only reason I shifted away from that idea was because of criticism from my peers who said, oh, third parties have to all be big name characters. You have Sonic and Snake and Mega Man. There's no way they're going to add a character that's just called a hero. And I guess I should have ignored that criticism, because that's exactly what they did. That's really the only reason I wound up shifting to Erdrick, is because I was like, oh, yeah, you need something with a big name, so we'll use the name of the legendary hero of Dragon Quest, Erdrick. But yeah, it looks like it's not necessary. You just have a character that's the Dragon Quest hero and make them appear as many Dragon Quest heroes. I honestly think that is amazing. You get this whole spectrum of Dragon Quest as a series, and that's exactly what you want for Dragon Quest. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily something where you are representing a single character. You're representing a character concept, the Dragon Quest hero. And that's something I think that representation of big Nintendo series is just as important as individual Nintendo characters, right? I think that's more of the appeal of Castlevania, more than individually, oh, you get to play as Simon Belmont or Richter Belmont. It's that you get to fight using the Belmont tools and fighting styles in a Castlevania setting. I think that's what's fun about it, and I think that's what Dragon Quest brings to the table as well. For me, Dragon Quest was the last massive third-party franchise that just hits all the right notes for me. It's very historically tied to Nintendo. It's been around for a super long time. It's always had consistent regular releases and grown as a series. So to me, it was the last just mammoth of a third-party series that was missing from Super Smash Brothers. There's other ones that I think we could see that would also, fit that kind of criteria. Things like Bomberman and Ninja Gaiden. But Dragon Quest, I think, was the one that was still a cut above, something that matches Mega Man and Castlevania and Final Fantasy that we just didn't have yet. And having that in there now is so satisfying to me. It was like a big missing piece of a puzzle that would define, this is Super Smash Brothers. This is the fighting game that represents all of what Nintendo is. With Dragon Quest on there now, I feel like that's pretty much complete. Banjo-Kazooie is satisfying for a completely different reason. As a kid, Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash Brothers was a given, right? We didn't know much at the time about, oh, what is a sequel for Super Smash Brothers going to look like? You know, I'm about in third or fourth grade when Melee comes out, or we didn't know anything about like legal issues for what characters they could and couldn't bring in and things like that. So it was just a given. We were like, oh, of course they're going to add Banjo-Kazooie. That's one of Nintendo's big characters that they haven't put in yet. And it was so shocking that they weren't in Melee. It's something I've talked about for a long time. It's just, these are characters that just should have always been in Super Smash Bros. At least that's how it felt. And looking back on it now, when you compare to other characters that, still aren't in Super Smash Brothers, maybe Banjo and Kazooie didn't have any bigger of an actual presence than some of these other characters, but it was just so memorable and beloved, and it is just so exciting to have actually seen it happen. I mean, that was always the issue. We never talked much about Banjo and Kazooie in Smash. I never had him in any of my ideal rosters because when I was doing those, we just thought Banjo and Kazooie was ineligible. They were, before Brawl came out, Banjo and Kazooie and all of Rare had been bought by Microsoft, and we're like, well, okay, well, that's just off the table now. There's nothing that can be done about that. And it's so great to see that that's not the case anymore, right? Just these last couple of years is when we've started to see, oh man, Nintendo and Microsoft, they're starting to collaborate more. Maybe we can start talking about Banjo and Kazooie and Smash Brothers. And, despite any issues anyone might have had with it, it's happened, and most people are really happy about it. I'm super happy about it. I have been rewatching the Banjo reveal trailer over and over and over again because I have just been so excited by that. If you want to see live reactions, I do those with Chris of Adustus on his Twitch channel, Adustus Plays. Those will probably also be uploaded to the main Adustus channel. Unfortunately, my webcam was not working this time. In fact, any video I'm recording for this video is being done with my iPhone. So that's something I hopefully can fix in the future. But my audio is in there, so you can hear how I react to the hero in Dragon Quest and everything else they showed off in that wonderful, wonderful Nintendo Direct. My phone fell off the wall that I taped it to, so I'm just holding it now. So a couple of last channel updates, I guess, before I sign off here. The next Force Smash is coming out very soon, which means I'll be deciding the next patron pick character right after that. So if you're a patron and you want to change who your character is, now's the time. And if you're not a patron, and you want to suggest a character, it's a good time to hop onto that. You'll get it right in time for a suggestion. Also, tomorrow I'll be doing a special birthday stream. It will hint at who the next Force Smash character after this one will be, and it's something I've been meaning to do for a really long time, so I hope I will see you on twitch.tv/Pete'sDudeManGuy for that. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.